Okay, so welcome to today's class, and we come to the middle of the mat, bring the feet together, the inner heels and inner ankles touching, and then spread the toes forward. Press the feet evenly down and lift the inner heels. Lift the knees, draw the thighs onto the thigh bones, gently lift the navel, draw the abdomen back towards the back abdominal wall. Keep the bottom ribs contained, and then lift and broaden the chest. From the outer shoulders, stretch to the fingers. From the back of the neck, lengthen into the crown. And look straight ahead onto a focusing point. And as you take your gaze to the focusing point, just notice the movements that the body makes and try to bring it into stillness and steadiness. So nice deep breath in and out. When you breathe in, draw the breath down. Allow it to expand right up into the top of the chest, and then release it back down. At the end of the out breath, feeling that fascial constriction at the base of the spine. And then from here we go straight into the lifting of the arms. So when we lift the arms, try not to disturb the trunk. So rather get the trunk nice and in that neutral position, and then lift the arms without disturbing the trunk. So at some point maybe there's a bit of tightness. Just go slowly through the restriction if there is a restriction. So often we just rush through that. And now stretching to the fingers, press the feet and reach to the fingertips. Allow these sides of the body to lengthen towards the fingertips. Allow the arms to help lift the rib cage squarely away from the hips. And then see if you can bring the hands together. Elbows straight, arms straight, legs straight, feet pushing down. And then release and bring the arms down. And now we're going to just come to the forward bending pose. So have your feet hip width, the feet pointing straight ahead, and then just breathing in. And again, lifting the arms up without disturbing the trunk. Turn the palms forward and then breathe out. Breathe out and come to the forward fold. Here we're going to be pressing the feet evenly. So the front and the backs of the feet, the inner and outer feet pressing evenly, but the inner heels lifting up. From the backs of the knees, stretch into the heels. Feel the backs of the legs lifting, the thighs lifting strongly into the groins, and the trunk just relaxing down, the shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breath in and out. Allow the muscles at the backs of the legs to broaden. And then we're going to come straight into the downward facing dog position. So bending the knees, take the hands flat to the floor, and then take the left foot and then the right foot back into the downward facing dog position. First coming onto the toe tips, lift the heels up, lift the buttock bones up. And you find that nice lift in the buttock bones. And now from the backs of the knees, stretch the heels down and use the leg muscles to draw backwards. And lift the sitting bones up. From the hands, spread the fingers, press evenly the palms, especially the knuckles. Turn the inner elbows up to the ceiling and the outer shoulders, draw them down to the ground. Straighten the arms and then lift the collarbones away from the floor and then lift the hips away from the collarbones. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then release, bend the knees, the big toes together, the knees apart. Come to sit on your heels and then walk the hands forward as you draw the hips back towards the heels. Spread the fingers, press the palms and lift the inner elbows as you draw the area between the shoulder blades towards the floor. The upper back nice and broad. Draw the abdomen towards the back abdominal wall. And then breathing in, coming up. We're going to come back to the downward facing dog position. So straighten the legs, lift the hips. Now we're going to take a jump with the feet towards the hands. So press the hands and then just lift the feet off the floor as you press the hands strongly into the ground. And then breathe in and come up. We're going to have the chair. Now this is just to see how far you can go. So what we're going to try and do is come to the wall and lift the legs up, but we're going to use the chair to rest the feet on the chair. So just try it. It's very good to get the strength in the arms. So coming close to the wall, place your hands right close to the wall and spread the fingers with the middle finger pointing forward. And then coming into a downward facing dog position again. Just have your legs on either side of the chair. Now press the hands and lift the buttock bones and then just walk the hands towards the feet towards the wall. And now take the feet on top of the chair. So try to get the chair a little bit closer. If we're doing like an upside down, like a downward facing dog, now press the hands evenly. Draw between the shoulder blade away from the wall as you lift these sitting bones up. Straighten the elbows. Get that nice length from the collarbones to the sitting bones. So lift the sitting bones up. And then just release and come down. So we're getting closer and closer to the handstand. We can just for now take the chair away. And coming back to the floor, we're going to do the dolphin pose, which is a prep for the headstand. So kneeling on the mat, bring your forearms to the floor and then interlace the fingers. And now we're going to draw the forearms into the wall. The elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Like that. Draw those forearms down evenly. That little pinky, just lift it slightly up so that we have a good base with the bottom of the hands as well. So the lower pinky, you just lift it up slightly. And then tuck the toes under, breathe in. And as you breathe out, straighten the legs. Don't allow the elbows to splay out. Now draw the forearms into the floor to lift the collarbones up. And then you can walk the feet further in. Again, lifting those sitting bones and drawing between the shoulder blades towards the feet. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So the more securely these forearms are pressing down and stable, the easier it is. Just don't let those elbows splay apart. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then release to the floor. Again, take the big toes together, the knees apart. Come to sit on the heels and then walk the hands forward. Spread the fingers, middle finger pointing forward. Draw the hands into the floor and lift the inner elbows as you draw the outer shoulders towards the floor. Draw between the shoulder blades towards the floor. And now lengthen the chest towards the hands as you walk those hands a little bit forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And now you can even rest the forehead to the floor and the elbows to the floor. And allow the arms to bend. Take the hands underneath the shoulders and then breathing in, press the hands and come up, upright. And now we're going to do the headstand prep to the wall. We can use a blanket on the mat to make it a bit smoother on the arms. If you don't want that, that's just fine. You can do it without the blanket. And we're going to use a block to help support us against the wall. So first coming down, take the block just below the 7th vertebra of the upper back. So it's below the neck. And keeping it there, you just come down and then pin it to the wall. And then keeping it there, you interlace the fingers. Take strongly to the finger bases. Draw the wrists apart and draw the fingers towards the head. Tuck the toes under, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the buttock bones up, straighten the legs. Again, watching that those elbows don't splay apart, and now walking the feet in. The block helping to stabilize the upper back against the wall, but try to get the back of the trunk a little bit straighter by lifting the sitting bones up. You can even walk the feet quite a bit towards the elbows, but keep lifting the sitting bones up to the ceiling as you press the forearms into the floor. Head is off the floor. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then we're going to release from that. Just watch the block. So keep hold of the block. Sometimes the carpet moves. And now we're going to, if you'd like to do the headstand, you can do that. If you don't feel up to it today, then do the one that we did that we've just done. So again, having the blanket by the wall, interlace the fingers, have the elbows underneath the shoulders, in line with the shoulders. We're going to widen those wrists, keep them perpendicular, and keep the forearms pressing evenly down. So So this allows that nice lift in the collarbones. Tuck the toes under, and now take the head between, lightly touching the inner hands. Rest the top of the crown to the floor. So drawing those forearms down, lift the collarbones. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the buttock bones up, and then you can kick up into the headstand. Keep those elbows shoulder width and draw the forearms into the ground, from the elbows to the hands. Lift the collarbones and then lift the hips away from the collarbones and stretch the inner legs up to the feet. This keeps the feet reaching up to the ceiling. Keep the bottom front ribs contained. And then have a nice easy breath in and out. Come down whenever you're ready. Whenever you feel that the pose is getting heavy, then come down slowly with control. Keep drawing those forearms into the mat. Shoulders away from the ears. So the shoulders now lift into the ceiling. Use the legs to lift the hips. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then come down with control. Again, bring the big toes together, the knees apart, and come to sit back on the heels, resting the forehead to the floor and the elbows to the floor. And take some nice recovery breaths in and out, and then come up. Okie dokie. And now we're going to come to the hero pose. The hero pose allows us to have a nice straight spine easily, whereas in the headstand it's a little bit more difficult. So we're going to come kneeling on the floor, bring the knees together, and then take the heels, the width of the hips, and then having a support, just checking that support so that it's the right height, so that you can rest the buttock bones on a block, a blanket, or even the floor if that's possible for you. And then just checking that the feet are pointing straight back and that the knees are together and equal. So either the knees go slightly in or out. You can try to get them to be a little bit straighter by just revolving the thighs. So if they're going in, revolve the thighs out with the hands. If they're going out, revolve the thighs in. This is just to help correct the quadriceps muscles. All right, then just coming up, take the fingertips behind the knees, draw the calves away from the backs of the knees, and then come down again. That just creates a bit of extra space for the knees. And now we're going to lean back on the outer feet, press the hands into the outer feet and just lean back to help draw the shin bones, the outer shin bones towards the floor. Take a deep breath in and out, and then come to an upright seated position. So feel those sitting bones squarely going into your support. And now watching not to pop out those front ribs, again keep them contained, but allow the whole chest to lift away from the hips squarely. So lift those back ribs, bottom back ribs up, put the shoulder blades down, and then lift the chest, the mid and upper chest. Broaden that nicely. Now we're going to take the hands to the knees, gently pressing the palms into the knees and rotating the arms outward so that the elbow creases face forward. but still drawing the thumb side of the wrist down. So the chest comes through the arms, the upper sternal bone comes through towards the chin, and then we lengthen the back of the neck. Very nice position for the spine. It's a very natural, easy position to have a nice, straight, erect spine. And a nice deep breath in and out. And then just releasing from that. Now we're going to come to use your block again, we're going to come to the floor, to the Setu Bandha pose, which lying on your back, bend the knees and bring the feet towards the buttock bones. So find a nice even trunk, the shoulders, the hips even, and then pressing the feet, lift the hips up, take the block lengthways underneath the sacrum, take the arms on either side, roll them outwards so that the backs of the hands rest to the floor. And now we're going to just straighten the legs one at a time. So the tailbone lifts up between the legs, the pubic bone draws towards the navel, but the front thighs, the upper thighs, draw down towards the floor, the heels draw down into the floor. When we breathe in, allow that chest now to expand and the upper sternal bone to move towards the chin. The chin, we lengthen from the throat upwards, so we're not crunching it down. Back of the neck nice and long, the jaw soft. Take the gaze of the eyes towards the chest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Full in breath, full out breath. Don't forget the thighs still drawing up, down, and the tailbone drawing up. And now bending the knees, press the feet, lift the hips up, and then take the hips back down. Now from this position, we're going to draw the ankles towards the hands so that we can take hold of the ankles on the outer side of the hands, so the fingers wrap around the ankles. If your arms are too short, then use a strap. You can hold the strap. Now just gently make sure that the feet are pointing straight ahead and gently press the feet evenly down. Just lift the hips off the ground and then tuck the shoulder blades underneath the trunk on either side. And now pressing the feet evenly, lift the tailbone up to the ceiling. Keep the knees in line with the hips, so don't allow them to splay out. So the inner feet need to press quite strongly now to keep those shin bones parallel. Now this is the 4 Chatuspadasana, so we need to find even pressure with the feet pressing down and the shoulders pressing into the floor. So don't just soften the shoulders, draw them into the floor, draw the feet down and lift the tailbone up. The chest comes towards the chin, keep the throat soft and lengthen the jaw towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Feel those buttocks, those muscles there working to lift the hips up as you press the feet and the shoulders down. And then release, come down slowly, one vertebra at a time to bring the trunk towards the floor. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And now we're going to do the shoulder stand. We're going to do it today with on the floor, not the chair shoulder stand, but if you find that it's too much for you, then use the chair. Here you're going to need a few blankets, your bolster, and a strap. So just first of all measuring your legs from the wall. So just place your feet onto the wall and then see where your hips come. And then just put the blanket there as a marker. And then use a full hand width and draw the blanket forward towards the wall by one hand width. So that's the position of the blankets. So in this way we use blankets or bolsters. So have the fold of the blanket towards the wall. And so you'll need more blankets the tighter your shoulders are or your tighter your neck is. The last blanket, we just have some blanket there for the hairstyle. And then we place the bolster on the other end, like so. And then have your strap. The strap, we measure the loop of the strap to be as wide as your shoulders. So just measure it so that it will help to stabilize the elbows, and then you can just double check that it's the right length by putting it around the elbows like so. This is what we want. Not too tight, but also not too loose. We want to have a nice stable elbows. And then putting the loop around the one elbow, we just come down slowly and then bring the shoulders just a little bit shy of that folded blanket so that the hips are on the bolster. Bend the knees, take the hands underneath the sacrum, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the legs up and over, the feet to the wall. And with the feet high, we put the strap around the elbows. Just make sure that the clasp of the strap is not pinching the skin, and then take the hands so that the fingers point towards the lower back, towards the hips, and the end of the palms is towards the shoulder blade. And now we're going to just walk the toes up the wall. At the same time, draw the hands down the back so that the base of the palms is closer towards the shoulder blades. And then straighten one leg up at a time. Lift into the shoulder stand. So try to get the hands lower and lower down. And now, the same as in the Chaturpadasana, now we draw the chest towards the chin. But the throat remains soft. Take the outer elbows, the outer shoulders down, and then lift the hips away from the shoulders. Draw the buttocks forward towards the front of the hips, but take the thighs back. So that helps us to create lift, and then lift the inner legs up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Keep lifting the hips away from the floor. The chest moves towards the chin. We don't sag it down. Draw it towards the chin. try to get a straight line from the shoulders towards the feet. So the trunk and the legs in a straight line. Lift the hips up. Keep the throat soft. Take the gaze of the eyes towards towards the chest. Get the brain soft, the eyes soft. It takes incredible strength to keep lifting the hips up and the legs up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then release from that. Take the feet to the wall and then just loosen the strap off the elbows. Now we're going to take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the back, and now use the arms to draw the shoulders away from the ears as you walk the feet down the wall. Now here, go with your own, whatever you can manage. So you don't need to get the feet all the way to the floor. You do want the hips to lift away from the floor though. Lift the thighs up to the ceiling, open the backs of the knees, but draw the arms away from the ears. Lift the thighs. Soft throat, soft eyes, gaze of the eyes towards the chest, don't look sideways. And then release. We slowly roll the legs and the hips down. Bring the feet to the floor. And then we just shuffle the shoulder blades off the blankets so that they're on the mat. And bend the knees and take the feet onto the bolster. Take the fingers onto the abdomen. And take a nice deep breath in and out. And then slowly roll to the side. Use your left hand to push yourself up and then come up. And then we're just going to take the props away. Going to use a chair now. We're going to do the Dvipada Viparita Dandasana pose. So have your chair, and then we're going to take a blanket onto the chair, just it's just a bit softer. So the length from the chair length away from the wall is, you want the tailbone to be off the chair. So just more or less measure it and then come forward slightly, because your legs are going to be going down. So just see if you can measure that out. So measure it by taking the tailbone off the seat and then seeing if your feet can touch the wall like so. And then we're going to go back. So here you can see I need to go a little bit closer to the wall. There we go. Okie dokie. So come and sit upright on your chair. Take the tailbone off the seat of the chair. Then come down with the trunk. Take hold of the backrest with the hands. And then allow the head to drop down. Just in this position, allow again the chest to move towards the chin. But now in this position, the chin is not tucked in, the chin is nice and open. So allow the throat now to completely open. The shoulders away from the ears. And try to get the sensation that the shoulder blades are lifting away from the floor upwards. The front edge of the chair should just be below the corner, the bottom corner of the shoulder blades. And now we're going to straighten the legs to the wall so that the soles of the feet go to the wall and the heels to the floor. Now we're going to gently press the hands into the backrest. Draw the thighs down and allow the chest to expand. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, so draw the shoulder blades also towards the back waist. The thighs draw down, the heels draw down. Now keeping that chest expanded, keep it in neutral. Take the arms above the head and turn the palms to face the ceiling. And now reach with the fingers away from the shoulders, but draw the thighs down, the heels down, and press the soles of the feet into the wall. Very, very good. Now, although the middle back is resting on that corner of the chair, try to get the sensation that you're also moving it away from the seat of the chair. Stretch the fingers. Lengthen the sides of the trunk towards the hands. But keep drawing the thighs and the heels down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then take the hands up to the backrest. Bend the knees. And then just move the seat, the buttocks off the seat of the chair as you come up. And then come to sit on the seat of the chair with the trunk and the spine nice and upright. Now we're going to take the left forearm onto the backrest and take the right hand onto the front, not the right corner, but the opposite corner of the chair. And now drawing the arm down, try not to lean back with the spine, lengthen the spine up into the crown, and then breathe out, and then twist to the right. Keep the spine nice and straight, so the crown lengthens up. Breathe out fully, and then twist some more. And lift the left armpit chest up, away from the left hip. Get those hips nice and level. And look over your right shoulder. And then release, come forward, take a nice deep breath in and out. And then place the right forearm onto the backrest and take the left arm to the opposite corner of the seat of the chair. So watching not to lean back, try to get the spine straight, lift the spine up into the crown, breathe in, And then breathe out fully. And then now twist to the left. Try not to collapse in the front right armpit chest area. So allow that area to lift up as well. Keep the shoulders level. And look over the left shoulder. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out. And then twist some more. And then release and sit forward again. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Find the trunk nice and straight. And then we're going to come out of the seat of the chair. And then just take the chair away. And for the next one, we're going to take the legs up the wall. So get your bolster, bring it to the wall, like so. If you want to, you can even have the extra blanket. And then you can also have a blanket for the hair, so that it doesn't stick to the mat. And then bringing both, sitting on the side of the mat, bring both buttocks against the wall, so like so, and then you just roll up the legs up the wall, lift the hips, and then walk the shoulders towards the wall so that the buttocks come to the wall. Now in this position, we draw the outer hips onto the bolster, but then lengthen the backs of the legs and the inner legs up to the feet. The knees draw back towards the groin, and we draw the thigh muscles onto the upper thigh bone. So those inner legs, lengthen them up to the soles, and lengthen the soles up to the ceiling. But draw the outer hips into the bolster. Check to see that your abdomen is nice and soft. Now we're going to draw the outer shoulders towards the floor and take the arms on either side. So I don't have that much space, so I'm going to take the arms above the head. So whatever works for you, you can put the arms in the hands up position, the arms on either the side, or lengthen them above the head. Key factors: draw the outer hips down into the bolster. Lengthen the legs up the wall, the backs of the legs up the wall, the inner legs up. Stretch the feet up. And allow the chest to open, but the abdomen soft. The outer shoulder blades, draw them towards the floor. Keep the throat soft, the eyes soft, and the brain soft. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Allow the body to start cooling down now. We're going into the more cooling part of the class. So allow the breath to become soft and easy. Now we're going to bend the knees and bring these soles of the feet together so that we're coming into the upside down cobbler pose. Draw the outer feet, that are against the wall towards each other. And draw them, have there be a little bit of pressure with those outer feet as you try to open the inner feet away from each other. So it's like in a book that you're trying to open. Draw the outer hips towards each other, and allow the knees now to release towards the wall. Very good to feel that nice tightening up or the firmness in the hips. Still the outer hips drawing into the bolster and the abdomen soft. Chest broad, throat soft, eyes soft. Nice deep breath in and out, full in and out breaths. The breath is soft, but don't chop off the breath. Get a full in and out breath. Now we're going to bend the knees and keep the feet to the wall. And now, if your arms aren't above there, you can take the arms above the head. And lengthen the arms away from the hips. Very nice for the back. This good way to relax the back. It keeps the chest moving away from the lower back without that arch. And then release, and we're going to just turn to the side. Use your right hand or your hand to lift yourself up, bring the head up last. And now we're going to come to the corpse pose. So have a blanket for the head, and we're going to use a bolster for the back of the knees. And then come to sit at the front end of the mat. Bend the knees and take the forearms around the knees. Now as you press the feet into the floor, draw the forearms towards you, put the upper shoulders away from the ears, the chest moves through the arms, and we lengthen into the crown. Get the neck in line with the spine, so don't hang the head forward. A nice full breath in and out. And then come with the hands behind, fingers pointing towards the feet. Press the hands, straighten the elbows, and then lift the chest through the arms and take the neck in line with the spine. Look ahead. Slowly bend the elbows, come onto the elbows. And now we're going to hold the mat with the hands. And as we now come to lie down, we draw the hands away from the shoulders and draw the hips down so that we now lengthen the spine as we come down, one vertebra at a time, so that we now, in the prone position, take the head support underneath the head, draw the outer shoulders to the floor, and then roll the arms outwards so that the palms face the ceiling. So first of all, equalizing the trunk. Keep the abdomen nice and soft, the throat soft. And then without tensing up the abdomen, lift the right knee, straighten the right leg, place the leg down on the bolster, lift the left knee, straighten the left leg, and then place the leg down. Allow the leg muscles to release so that the feet drop out sideways, making sure as well that that bolster underneath the knees is equally placed so that the heels touching the ground are equally weighted, the knees touching the bolster equal, and the hips equal. If it's not equal, use your hands to correct it. Get the shoulders nice and level, and the head level on the back, on the head support. And now gently close the eyes by bringing the upper eyelids towards the lower eyelids. Allow the eyeballs to sink in the eye sockets towards the floor, especially when you breathe in. So don't allow the eyes to lift up when you breathe in. Allow them to release and soften downwards towards the floor. The back of the neck nice and long, the jaw soft, the tongue resting in the bottom palate away from the teeth, so that the throat completely relaxes. Soft inhalations, soft exhalations. The in-breath as long as the out-breath. When you breathe out, keep the chest expanded. Don't collapse the chest. Allow the breath to have some control on the exhalation so that it doesn't collapse. And then breathe out fully, right to the end of the out-breath. Don't cut the out-breath short. And then when you start the in-breath cycle, try to make it even as well by not gulping the breath at the beginning and rushing the breath. Soft inhalation, soft exhalation, easy. As we start releasing into the corpse pose, so the breath becomes more and more delicate, so that if a person were to watch you, there would be only a slight movement in the diaphragm. The rest of the body is dead still. As the body relaxes, we draw the attention deep into the body. And we give ourselves over to our relaxation. Now, as we enter the corpse pose, we relinquish all control on the body. We just let the body breathe and do what it needs to do. As we spend a few moments silently in the corpse pose. Now we're going to come out of the relaxation, but we do this slowly. So first increase just the in-breath. Allow your awareness to become aware of the surroundings. And then you can just move the fingers and the toes just a little bit. And then bend the elbows, take the hands to the abdomen. And now, without disturbing the abdomen and tightening the abdomen, lift the knees off the floor. So try to lift them without tightening the abdomen. Keep that abdomen nice and soft. So bend one knee at a time. And then take the right hand above the head and turn to your right hand side, resting the head on the right upper arm. Gently open the eyes, but keep the eyes soft. And then straighten the left leg, push yourself up with the left hand, bring the head up last. And come to a nice erect seated position. Bring the hands to the chest. And with that we say namaste, have a fantastic day.